To create the renderings for your cabin, you're going to use the generic perspective camera over here on the right in the navigator to get your camera angle close to what you would want, and then you'll use the rendering tool to go ahead and create a photorealistic rendering. So from the normal two-dimensional view, you really can't tell much. So what you want to do, come over here, double click on generic perspective. And one of the easy things to do is use this Explore Model tool up here. If you click on that, it gives you the information on how to use it. Go ahead and hit 3D Explorer, and that allows you to use your mouse and the arrow keys to move in, and the page up and page down keys to move in and out, so that you can see what your angle is outside. To create the rendering, get your camera where you want it to be, and when you're doing the renderings, you can go ahead and make your walls the colors you want. You can have your trees and all the other stuff, but just keep in mind, the more stuff you have in there, the longer it's going to take to render the image. So once you're happy with the camera angle, then you come up here to Document, and you go down to Creative Imaging and go to Photo Render Projection. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring up this dialog box, and it's going to slowly show the image and build it for you. Now, you might have to do this a number of different times to make sure that you're happy with how this rendering comes out. Now, this is an exterior rendering, so it shows the outside of the building. And you'll see you get shadows from the sun. It automatically puts in a blue background for the sky, so if you have a large enough mesh, you'll actually have a fairly realistic looking rendering. If you like what you see for the exterior rendering, go ahead and close this, and what you can do is you can save this view and put it on the layout, which is actually over here, and we haven't talked about really. You come over here and right click on the generic perspective and come down here to where it says save view and place on layout. You click on that, and what that's going to do is that's going to bring you to the layout book, which are the actual pieces of paper that you're going to print out. This first one is the index, which is the very first sheet, and that's actually where you're going to want to put this, because this is where you want your exterior rendering to be. So you just put it kind of in the middle, and it's going to place that. Now obviously that's not where I want it, so I'm going to drag it and place it where it needs to be. Now you'll notice though that it's not the actual photo rendering. It just says generic perspective, which we can change that later, but it's just the regular modeling view. So once you're in here and you have your view located, what you want to do is we need to change it from being the model view to the actual rendering view. So go ahead and click on it, right click, and what you want to do is you want to modify the source view settings. So you click on the source view settings, and it brings up this dialog box. And one of the things that you have is down here instead of 3D only, it says generate in 3D window. What we want to do is we want to change that to photo rendering window. You click OK. Now, when you look at it, nothing really happens, but if you come down over here on the right, there is an update button. You click on the update button, and what it's going to do is it's actually going to re-render that image so that you can see it. Now, once it's done rendering, it's going to pop up down here in this little tiny window, and you'll see that this is not what we want. It's too small. So, if you go in, you click on it, you right click, and you're going to say Drawing Selection Settings. What we're going to do is we're going to change the scale. Now you got to make sure that this chain is here because we don't want to change just one dimension, we want to change all of it. The easy way to do it is to change the magnification. So what you can do is you can hit Fit to Layout, but that's a little bit chancy. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it'll be way too big. But what you can do is very easily change the magnification. So that's a pretty small spot, so I'm actually going to go 500% and have it change it so it's quite a bit bigger. We'll see whether that works out all right. That's not too bad. So once you're up, you can go ahead and move it back where you want it to be. You might need to move it over a little bit. Once you're happy with where it's located, you can click off of it and it'll show your rendering.